Hello, gang. Jim McCotter here again with Christian Nation Today. The topic today is how to vote according to Jesus, Matthew 7:16. With the myriad of speeches by presidential candidates, how can you know who best to vote for? The foolish voter listens to speeches. The wise voter listens to what Ralph Waldo Emerson once said. Quote, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." The wise voter, end quote. The wise voter will not care so much what any candidates say, but what they have done or support in the past. This is exactly what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 7 and verse 16. You can identify people by their fruit, that is, by the way they act. Can you pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? A good tree produces good fruit, a bad tree produces bad fruit. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. Yes, just as you can identify a tree by its fruits, so you can identify people by their actions, end quote. Clinton is pro-abortion. Trump is pro-life. If there was no other issue than this one, that would be enough to not vote for Clinton and to vote for Trump. And that one issue always affects a multitude of other issues. Think of it. If we called it what God calls it, not pro-abortion, and certainly not pro-choice, but pro-murder. Or if you like the term pro-choice, then it's pro-choice for what? For every woman to be free to choose to murder every child in the womb. But what about other political policies? Did you know that every political policy there is biblical instruction to be for them or against them? And no less so than any policy that relates to abortion. Why do you think the political policy of abortion is wrong? Only one reason. Because you think God addresses it in the Bible and says it's wrong. That's it. It's only because Christians don't know where in the Bible God addresses all these other political issues that are right or wrong, that they don't know which way to vote or what way to think about it. But there is not one political issue today that the Bible does not address, directly or very directly in principle. The Bible does not leave it up to us to guess about any political policies. Once you really understand that God, too, has a civil law that he mandates for all nations and every generation to follow. In closing, Clinton promotes big government, being active and controlling in welfare, education, environment, business regulations, to not protect our borders and so many other violent policies. She would not make our military strong again, making us more vulnerable to foreign and even domestic Islamic terrorism. Biblically, Clinton is wrong in every one of these political issues. You want verses that say that? I don't have time in this short broadcast to go over all of them, but that is why I wrote the book, Christian Nation Today, where I address in detail all of these issues. Now, what about Trump? He wants to have the government deregulate businesses, deregulate in energy so we can be energy independent and even sell to other countries. He wants to eliminate onerous environmental regulations on business where we put the little darter fish ahead of people's human lives and jobs. He wants to take education out of the hands of unions and give parental choice for all parents so they can all have educational choice for their own children. This would be nation changing if anything would be. He also wants to change welfare to workfare. He wants to build up our military to protect our interest abroad and at home, which is the most fundamental thing that government should do. Clinton would appoint Supreme Court justices that would biblically be considered godless, immoral left-wing judges and fill the lower courts with all the same type of judges. Trump has already put the names out of those that are, generally speaking, Judeo-Christian worldview conservative judges. Trump is far from perfect in so many ways, and we all know that. But the choice between Trump and Clinton is literally and truly the difference between life and death for individuals' lives as well as our nation. We'll see you tomorrow.